Azul, how to play. The object of the game is to have the most points at the end. Give each player a player board, which they flip so the colored wall is face up. The sections of the player board are the scoring track, the pattern lines, the wall, the floor line, and the bonus points. Each player places a scoring marker on the 0 of their scoring track. Place the round factory displays in a circle on the table, 5 for 2 players, 6 for 3 players, or 7 for 4 players. Fill the bag with all the colored tiles, mix them up, then randomly put 4 tiles on each factory display. Pick a player to go first, and they take the starting player marker, then play proceeds clockwise. There are 3 phases in each round: the factory offer, the wall tiling, preparing the next round. During the factory offer, the starting player places the starting player marker in the center of the table and takes the first turn. On your turn, you must pick tiles in one of the following ways. Pick all the tiles of the same color from any single factory display, then remove all the remaining tiles to the center of the table. Or you may pick all the tiles of the same color from the center of the table. If you are the first player to take tiles from the center, then you also take the starting player marker and place it onto the leftmost available space of your floor line. After you pick tiles, you then place all the tiles you picked to one of the pattern lines from right to left. You may not add tiles of a different color to a pattern line that already has tiles. If you pick up more tiles than will fit on the pattern line, then all extra tiles are placed from left to right on the floor line. Once all spaces of a pattern line are filled, that line is considered complete. In future rounds, you may not place tiles of a color whose corresponding line on your wall is already filled. Any tiles that you pick up that you cannot place on your pattern line, or you don't want to place on your pattern line, must be placed on your floor line, filling the empty spaces from left to right. If all spaces on your floor line are filled, then put the extras in the lid of the box. Players continue taking turns picking tiles until all the tiles in the center and all factory displays are gone. Now, all players simultaneously score points by moving one tile from each of their filled pattern lines from top to bottom directly over to its matching wall space, then moving the rest of the tiles from that pattern line to the lid of the box. Each time you move a tile, you score points immediately on your score track as follows. A tile that has no other orthogonally adjacent tiles to it scores 1 point. If there are 1 or more tiles horizontally linked to the moved tile in a straight line, then count all these linked tiles, including the moved tile, and gain that many points. Then do the same with any vertically linked tiles. A moved tile that simultaneously links horizontally and vertically will be counted twice. Any remaining tiles on incomplete pattern lines remain where they are and do not score, nor are they removed. After completing your move to the wall, you then calculate your penalty for all the tiles on your floor, if any. Subtract the indicated points for each tile and starting player marker. You may not have less than 0 points, even if your penalty would take you lower. Move all your floor tiles to the lid of the box, but the player with the starting player marker moves the marker to the table in front of them to be used at the start of the next round. If no player has a horizontal row of 5 consecutive tiles in their wall, then play another round. If you run out of tiles in the bag, refill it with all the tiles from the lid of the box. If the lid has no more tiles, then begin the round without all the factory displays being filled back to 4. If a player does have a row of 5 consecutive horizontal tiles in their wall, then, after the scoring phase, the game ends immediately and each player scores bonus points based on tiles in their wall as follows. 2 points for each complete horizontal line of 5 tiles. 7 points for each complete vertical line of 5 tiles. And 10 points for each color of which you have placed all 5 tiles. The player with the most points wins. If there is a tie, then the tied player with the most horizontal completed rows wins. Still a tie, then the tied players win together. For a slightly different game, flip over your player board and each player has an unmarked wall. Players can put the colors wherever they want, so long as each row and column only has each color one time. If you run into a situation where you are unable to place a filled pattern line into your wall, then you must immediately place all those tiles in your floor line.